Dicko, mate,
How are you, Dizz?
how are ya?
Good, mate. I'm really good.
That's the way, ready to rock and roll. Mate, before we start, obviously we're missing our trio member again.
Yeah, look, I've had word he's a little concerned. The Sharks have got the Dragons, the resurgent Dragons this week, so he's very concerned. Didn't want to come on tonight just in case. No, but in all seriousness, he's bit of a family situation. So
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
probably a bit scared too.
oh, there's no doubt that's the overriding
I
reason.
would be as well.
Absolutely no
They
doubt.
were fantastic. But we'll get into
Resurgent
that.
Dragons. Yeah, let's
We'll
do
get
it.
into that. We do have an addition though on tonight's episode.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, and it's actually the Krispy Kreme donut that I've just about polished off before we've even started. It's not my second one for the day at all. It's I promise it's my first. I
Well,
don't have another
that's not
20
true.
downstairs either.
That's not true because you sent me a photo of the box about 3 hours ago.
Oh, shout out to the team at Krispy Kremes. Appreciate you sponsoring tonight's episode. Mick, you're a legend, mate. Take care and up the Dragons. Another Dragons fan, eh? It was meant to be. It was meant to be, Dicko. Um, let's just dive into it. Well, let's get it out of the way. Uh, as a Broncos fan, you're at the game. What was it genuinely like? Because I guess most of the NRL was obviously super happy for the Dragons to get a result. Broncos were poor, there's no doubt about it. But how do you feel right now, not only about the victory, but where the Broncos are at? And I'll just eat my Krispy Kreme in the meantime.
Yeah, no, sweet. I tell you what's going to be difficult to talk while I'm seeing you just shovel that into your mouth. Seriously.
I'll be finished in 10 seconds. Don't worry about
No, I was at the game. Very disappointing first half and sort of most of the second half. They finally decided to play a bit of footy with about 10 minutes to go. But like, I mean, I wasn't unsurprised that I didn't think the Dragons were going to go through a whole season undefeated. They were going to beat somebody, and that team was always going to cop an absolute bashing.
that. Yeah.
And it is what it is. I don't think they're playing well. Clearly they're not playing well. They're not anywhere near where they're capable of. Everyone knows what they're capable of.
You had a sense about 3 or 4 weeks ago that,
Mm.
it might be this week. The Broncos are walking wounded. Like,
But
let's
I mean, but
address the elephant in the room.
well, and you also look at the occasion, right? You look at Sunday afternoon, Suncorp Stadium. I think it was sold out.
They'd won twice there before as well.
Yeah, twice there, same scoreline as well. Had won the last 10 games. The Dragons have won 8 against Brisbane.
Hmm.
So going into that, as I said, dry track, um, sellout crowd. How the home team can't get up for that, I've got no idea.
Mm.
But
Dragons are at full strength, of course, as well.
yeah, so I
Few
mean,
players backing up from Origin for Broncos.
I know everyone's very quick to say the Broncos were poor, but I think you got to give some credit to the Dragons. I thought they were really good.
Absolutely.
I mean, there was some
They've
lucky.
been they've been better for a few weeks. Besides the Warriors' efforts,
And there was
they've
some
been
lucky.
good.
There was some lucky tries in there. Someone's bounced the ball. Val dropped it and then hit his foot and towed it through, and that sort of stuff. So when it's not your day, it's not your day,
Yeah.
right?
I've got a couple of further questions. We won't talk about Broncos anymore, but with the Dragons themselves. First question, Young, Dean Young.
Mm.
Obviously, he's taken over and put his hand up willingly. He's come out and said, it's not really a secret, but he obviously wants the top gig.
Uh-huh.
Have you noticed a change since Flanagan left?
Have I noticed a change?
And therefore, do you think he's got a sniff of getting that top
Well,
job?
well, the change has been the continuity in team selection, hasn't it? Really.
Mm,
So he's picked and sticked, and
yep.
when you get that, you're going to get some continuity in performance, which I believe they've shown over the last 2 or 3
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah, they've got beaten and they've been poor in patches, but ultimately they played quite well in patches.
And Kyle's in the side.
Yeah, yeah. So again, I think I've said this before. I think he cops unfair criticism
Hmm.
sometimes. Whether I think he's a first grader or not, that remains to be seen. But I do think he cops the brunt of the unfair criticism over other players. But yeah, I definitely think they're. What I'm noticing is the game plan. There is a game plan now. And whether they
Mm.
didn't have one, or it just couldn't be implemented by the players, or he didn't have the cattle to. But the game plan that Dean Young has brought in seems to be a lot simpler.
Yep.
Complete your sets, kick to the corner, good kick chase, defend.
Yep.
It's pretty much what Penrith does.
Yeah, and then so backup question. The spoon.
Yep.
Do you think the Dragons can now avoid the spoon? And if so, who can get it?
Well, the monkey's off the back now, right, for the Dragons. So
Yeah.
they've now won a game. So the monkey's off the back. I mean, you would like to see them back up that performance before you can confidently say they're not going to finish in the spoon position.
Mm,
But I actually genuinely don't know, to be honest, who's going to win the spoon, because I think the Titans are probably a better side than a spoon team, to be honest, as well.
yeah.
And so at the moment, I'll still stick with the Dragons only because they've given up a massive head start.
Yes.
But if they get some confidence and get a couple of if they beat the Sharks this week, then we sort of have to talk about potentially who they might not win the spoon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Sharks are themselves walking slightly wounded. And,
Mm.
oh, I mean, their highest paid player, maybe not their best player, is out in Nico. But they played quite, it was a bit of a tale of two halves, really, that Manly game. I thought they
Mm.
were going to sort of run away with it. Tricky was fantastic, and I thought Puru on debut was great. But before we get into predictions for this week and bring up some other topics, we haven't spoken about Origin. It was heartbreaking, obviously.
Where's Dale? We
Um,
need him.
Dale, unfortunately, Dale can't rub it in here, but I'll share with the listeners because I know we've got a lot of Queenslanders out there. I've never seen someone sit in silence for 65 minutes of football. For someone who's got a reasonably big mouth, to sit there in silence for 65 minutes and then chirp his way through the next 15 minutes, um, was pretty funny. But well, obviously, we don't want to dwell on it too much. It's sort of been and gone, and we should be really almost about to preview Origin too. But how did you see that game? The Ponga send off. Do we need to make any changes for game two?
Well, there's going to be force changes. I thought it was a great game of footy for 60 minutes. And then I thought it was completely ruined by the officials. Um, and you said this to me before when we spoke earlier today on the phone, that it's now at the point where we all feared. And unfortunately, referees are deciding like games of footy.
Yeah.
The decisions are affecting results right
Hmm.
now. And we're at that point. And
Yeah.
I think if everyone really takes the bias hat off, I think we could have lived with 10 in the bin.
Yeah.
Because I can argue both. I can argue both. I can argue why it was sent off, and I can argue why it shouldn't have been sent off and just 10 in the bin.
Yeah.
And I reckon I'd come up with a pretty good argument for him not to go in the bin. I just want to. If you're going to send someone off in a massive game, and you have 8 million eyeballs on that game of footy,
Yeah.
you've got to be sure it's a send off.
100%.
And you cannot win a game of footy in the NRL, especially State of Origin, with one less player for a period of 20 minutes.
I think the biggest part of the decision itself was how adamant Ashley Klein was and also dismissing what the bunker had to say. That was probably the biggest part of it. If Ashley Klein had gone, hey, look, um, I think it might be a send off. Can you just check the contact, mitigating circumstances, etc.?
Yeah, what do you think?
What do you think? I think it would have resulted in a sin bin. I think everyone knows that. And everyone would have been happy with that.
Mm.
And there wouldn't have been any controversy or conjecture. But
Mm.
to play any game, let alone State of Origin with 23 minutes a man down, like you cactus.
Well, I thought Queensland did well to stay in it until the last minute of the game.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, New South Wales deserve the credit. They came back.
Yeah.
I did think earlier in the game, Queensland had some opportunities, especially like early in the second half, to really put New South Wales away. They just went a bit sideways, which really frustrated me. But all in all, I think if New South Wales roll that team out again, they could get 40 put on them. And I think Queensland obviously will make changes only through forced changes. Like Paddy Carrigan's going to be out, Chipasaki, Mam probably
Yes.
not going to be on the bench. But I do think that Queensland's team will be relatively unchanged.
Would you keep Jojo for feeder?
I actually thought
He didn't do anything wrong, but I wouldn't say he stepped up.
honest in all seriousness, I actually thought for 75 minutes, I thought he was excellent. I thought every time he ran the ball, he poked his nose through. I thought coming out of yardage, he was great. Him and Cobbo got through a mountain of work.
Cobo was awesome.
Um, yeah. Oh, he won't be dropped. He won't be dropped. That's just not how Queensland operate. Like New
Mm.
South Wales are already talking about how are we going to fit in, Casey McLean, are we going to drop Katoni Staggs? And
Well, I heard that,
They're talking about Katoni Staggs being dropped. I mean, seriously, have they not watched Stephen Crichton for the last 6 weeks?
and I also heard that Mitch Moses will come straight back into the six.
Yeah, and Ethan Strange in the extended squad. I mean, they can do whatever they want. But
Yeah, yeah, exactly right.
Payne
Yeah,
Haas is a walk-up start. I really think they've got to rethink their middles. I thought Fanua Blake and Mitch Barnett
mm.
were both passengers, especially Fanua Blake. Thought he got a rude shock in the State of Origin footy.
Yeah,
I think Cameron Murray, unfortunately for New South Wales, they've got two good locks, and I
yeah,
think I think for the betterment of that team, I think Isaiah Yeo has to play front row,
yeah.
or he has to be
Well,
on the bench.
to Laurie Daly's credit, everyone's sort of had a crack at him for how he's coached, and obviously, if the result, if Tedesco doesn't score that try, people will probably have his head. But he made some really critical substitutions or interchanges at the correct time.
Yeah, and he probably got the subs right, and Billy probably got them wrong.
Yeah,
Billy should have brought Chibasaki on when Ponga went off and went with one less middle, but he went with Capewell out in the centres, and then for 20 minutes, Staggs just gave him an absolute bath.
yeah.
But, it's all happening very quickly. I do want to make mention, because I know you said countless times the last few weeks about 3-2-1s, Dally M's, and man of the
Mm,
matches. And if I'm Ethan Strange, I'm filthy that I didn't get man of the match. Seriously.
mm.
I mean, Blind Freddie could have seen that he should have got man of the match.
Yeah,
There's no way. I know Cleary ends up with 2 try assists and a 40-20, but please,
and a try.
come on.
But
The bloke that turned the game was Ethan Strange. He
yeah,
started to run the footy. He was posing questions. I thought it was the best debut. Paddy Carrigan won the Wally Lewis medal in his debut series in I can't remember what year now, 2019 or 2020 or something.
mm.
Strange's debut was as good as that.
Strange was by far the best player in the field from both sides.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So yeah, look, it's a strange one, but I think both of us feel pretty confident heading into game two and three for that matter.
Well, it's the NRL's dream to have a decider in Brisbane, isn't it?
Can't think of anything better. I might have to make another trip up there. Now, speaking of controversial calls, we sort of said they were going to rear their head and actually affect results and outcomes of games sooner rather than later.
Mm.
And unfortunately, it's happened on a few occasions, not just state of origin, but over the course of the weekend. And this is going to really hurt to say, but one of those games was the Panthers game. And the other game, which also hurts me to say, and most people who aren't supporters of the Bulldogs got robbed as well. And Benji Marshall even said it.
So just go through both. If we look at them individually, go through both of them, so in case people haven't actually.
Yeah, so with the Bulldogs game, there was two calls, or three you could say, but two real critical ones. One of them being the charge down from Josh Curran, and I've spoken to a lot of people about this, yourself included. Is it a case now that you're not allowed to do anything but put pressure on the kicker?
Well, you can't even put pressure on him.
Put pressure, but you can't touch. That's because they should change the rule to that.
Yeah, effectively, you can't make contact with the kicker.
Yep. Now, the issue at hand is obviously Josh Curran charged the ball down, regathered, went the length of the field to score a try. There was no, and Luai was the kicker for that matter, for anyone who didn't watch it. Luai, the moment the charge down was done, it wasn't him on the ground claiming a penalty. He's turned and chased as if, oh shit, charge down, I better stop this guy from scoring.
Hmm.
Now, replays show that as Curran does the charge down, Luai's leg reaches above torso height and clips his foot on Curran's hip or
Hmm.
in between his hip and his ribs.
Oh, yeah.
And there was just no, it wasn't diving at the feet. There wasn't anything. His hands hit the bloody ball.
So the rule is you can't make contact with a kicker below the knee, right? So
Mm.
that's the rule.
Yep.
So, and I'm going to just go in a bat here. Just bear with me with the
Yep.
bunker and the referee.
Hmm.
So they implemented that rule correctly.
They did. Yeah, they did. Yep.
So the issue is the rule.
Yes.
So, okay, so how can we fix the rule? Let's just use some common sense. You can't make contact below the knee unless there's mitigating circumstances or low contact or something like that. Use your head.
Yep. Consistency. And I think the message is getting clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer from fans. It's consistency and common sense.
Yeah.
If bunker and officials applied consistency and common sense, I don't think many people would have an issue at all.
But according to the bunker and the officials, they implemented that rule correctly, which they did because that's what the rule states.
Yep.
And it doesn't allow for common sense, especially that rule doesn't allow for common sense or consistency.
Now, the Kiraz call, right? So Tigers put in a kick. Kiraz is running across to try and get to the ball. The ball pops up. Kiraz, and it could go both ways here, but obviously Kiraz was going for the ball. But I've heard a few people just try and play on the fact that Kiraz's shoulder hit Tito's head. But really, both of them sort of not overran the ball, but Kiraz is chasing the ball. Tito's ball's bounced up. Tito's run straight into Kiraz. Kiraz tried to jump out of the way. As a result, Tito's taken out Kiraz, and Tigers have grabbed the ball and scored. Now, this
Had
is
the
like
had
one
the ball
set after.
bounced? Had the ball
The
bounced?
ball had bounced.
Well,
Yeah.
then it's fair play. If the ball bounced, it's fair play.
Yeah, but it was still taken out off the ball.
Yeah, but if he's going for the ball and
Well,
he's
the
got
ball was
eyes.
past him. So Kiraz was chasing along the in
Oh,
goal.
this is the one that Serraldo was talking about in his post-match
Yeah.
press conference, wasn't he? Yeah,
Kiraz
yeah,
is
yeah.
chasing along the in goal for the ball,
Well, if he's gone past the ball and taken the player out, it should be a penalty.
100%. And it was clear as day. Like, it was sort of like, how did
Oh, so
this
they
go
call
up a
that play
try?
on. I missed that one. They called that
Well,
play
it
on.
went up a try. And then, well, from what I remember anyway, I'd had a couple of beers by that point, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, it'd gone up as a try and it didn't get overturned. Now, contrary to the Panthers game, where we just spoke about common sense not being applied and black and white rules, Casey McLean's first try was a situation where there was a clear obstruction.
Well, it's a black and white rule, that one.
Yeah, but the referee and the bunker just decided to apply common sense there. So it's this is the problem.
That one is a black and white rule, though. You can't make contact on the outside shoulder of a defender, otherwise a penalty, which is because it was a penalty in Origin when Harry Grant was taken out.
Yeah, and their reason was something along the lines of it's a try because
Yeah, the centre made a defensive decision to stay in. Well, he wouldn't have
yeah,
if the other guy wasn't taken out.
exactly right. And also the player was never getting there in the
Oh,
first
I mean,
place.
don't even get me started on the bunker and the referees saying
But
it.
we don't want them to make judgment calls either
No.
and like think they know who was going to get where and when and why. It's but I mean, well, I think we spoke about it another 3 or 4 weeks ago where Cleary was clearly taken out, the exact same situation, and a try was
And a
given.
try, that's right.
So it swings in roundabouts, and it was funny because I can't remember whether it was Serraldo or Benji who got asked the question, or maybe it was even Ivan, but it was something along the lines of, "Do you think, regardless of all these calls, that it's sort of just a case of like you win some week and you lose some the other week?" And I believe it was Benji actually, and the response was pretty sarcastic. And it was sort of like, well, look, we don't really know what to think. It's a really confusing time at the moment
A
for
hundred
for
percent.
all
Like
people.
it's it's the same when you sit there and you watch a game and you see an incident that happens and you've got you know what the rule is and then it's interpreted differently. I know I sit there and just think, you know what, I'm not even surprised that it's been called a try when it shouldn't have been, or it's a no try when it should have been, or
100%.
you
And
know,
like Benji sort of mentioned the fact that, obviously the referee, they try and liaise with the referees as much as possible to work with them so that, they don't, well, the players get taught correctly so that whatever they do on the field doesn't affect the outcome. They'll obviously need to play by the rules and tweak them, but, they'll tell the players one thing, they'll do it, and then call another thing during the game.
mate,
That's where the confusion is.
the best that I saw all weekend was the Nickera one in Origin.
Oh,
The
yeah.
the high ball comes up, he's going to support his fullback with eyes on the footy, and Tedesco runs into him as Nickera's looking at the footy, and they call escort because the rule is that he has to take up position before the attacker gets there. What an absolute load of garbage that is.
Yeah.
So then, what's the point of him looking up at the footy then?
It also shouldn't matter who reacts first.
That's exactly right. Like, what's the point of him looking at the footy then? He may as well just run and just knock him out.
As long as they're both going for the ball, it's fair game.
That's what I mean, mate. Common sense, seriously.
Anyways, what else is happening around the grounds? We've had a few bits of signing news as well. A couple of
Yeah,
extensions.
yeah. Fosball lives on.
Yeah, wow.
I don't like it.
Huge.
I don't
You
like it.
don't like it?
Don't like it.
Really? What's
No.
what's your thoughts there? Just rookie coach can't
Rookie
handle it?
coach, mate. No. Not that he can't handle it. It's
Hmm.
just I was surprised at the length of deal. I'm not going to lie.
Yep. Yeah, 3 years is.
And we know as interim coaches, you always get a better performance from the team that's been going poorly,
Oh,
and then all of a sudden it wears off.
that have they forgotten that they gave Seabold an extension at the back end of last
Yeah.
year for 2 more years and then
So
sacked him after 3 games?
so what's going to happen if Foz gets into round 18 and he lose six straight? What's going to happen then? What are they going to do then? Buyer's
This is the
remorse?
thing, right? Yeah.
I
I'd
would
be
have
keen to know what they're paying him.
what's the name? I would have done a couple of things. I would have got him a really experienced assistant coach and given him the head coaching gig on maybe a 2 year deal with a club option for the second year,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That's how I would have structured it. I think, but I wouldn't have done anything now. I would have waited until
The
closer
end of the
towards the end
year.
of the season because
Yeah.
you need to see how he reacts with a bit of adversity,
Well,
right?
I mean, they lost last week, which is their, what, second loss since he's been in
Yeah.
charge? Then
So
they
I
won
mean,
7 from 9.
so he might come out and prove us all wrong here and just shove it up us here at Nostradamus,
Yeah.
but you know,
Well, let's just watch this space because, we've said exactly how we feel, like we normally do. And they're playing the Rabbitohs on Thursday night, and Tolu Kola's been cleared, and so is Hamoli. So they're
yeah.
arguably at full strength outside of Turbo, who, they've been playing better without Turbo, so that's debatable. And mate, if the Rabbits win this, which I believe they definitely can,
Mm.
what happens there? You lost
Well,
two on the trot, just signed an extension.
that's right. So again, it's very easy to sort of make decisions while it's all going well.
Mm,
And it's why I'm waiting to see what the Dragons do with Dean Young because I think that would be potentially a bit of a mistake as well. But the problem is there's no experienced coaches that are on the market.
yeah.
That's the issue there.
It's almost the same as, like, let's say, for instance, they come out and beat the Sharks this week. Then all of a sudden, the Dragons go and offer Dean Young the job.
That's
Straight
right.
up.
That's exactly right. So have they just forgotten that they lost 15 straight just before, or I know he wasn't the coach, but he was an assistant, right?
Yeah, he's been involved.
So yeah, you just gotta. I think clubs just gotta. They just fall in love with the honeymoon period of a new interim coach,
Mm.
and they're too
And
quick to jump bite the bullet.
and I guess it comes down to, and we both know this, and every club's different, but how much hands-on work does the head coach actually have? Or is he just overseeing it? Because that's the vibe that I get now. That he's almost like a technical director
Well,
that
if it's
oversees the program, doesn't do much coaching as such, and the assistant coach is the what people typically know as
Yeah.
the coach.
I can be guaranteed that no, Owen Cleary wouldn't be doing much coaching. Wayne Bennett's not doing much coaching. Craig Bellamy's probably not doing much coaching.
Mm.
Madge is probably not doing much coaching. But I bet you Benji Marshall's doing a fair bit of coaching. So
Yeah,
I think it's purely dependent on the team. Josh Hannay is another one that'd be really hands on. Teams
yeah.
that are struggling, but teams that are got good systems and whatnot. You can't tell me that Ivan Cleary is really doing a lot. Please,
Oh well, mate, I was watching the footage
Peter
before
Wallace
and
is running
after
the
the
show
game on the
now, isn't he?
weekend, and Peter Wallace has been running the show for weeks, if not years. No wonder
That's
he's
it.
happy to step aside. Nothing's going to change.
Now, Diz,
Yes,
I do have two issues for you.
go on.
TV rights. Have you
Okay.
have you heard?
No.
So much to our disgust as a consumer of league, we could be up for another subscription.
Oh yes, I have heard this. Yes.
So Channel 9 have gone all in. They want everything.
Mm-hmm.
Channel 9 want everything. So, I'm not going to get too technical here for viewers or anyone like that, but there's anti-siphoning laws here in Australia, which requires that there's some sports, rugby league, AFL, cricket, whatnot, have to be on free-to-air TV. A certain amount of games have to be on free-to-air TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a non-negotiable. So Channel 9 want the whole. They want every game,
Mm-hmm.
but won't increase their number of free-to-air games. So
Right.
so the rest of the games would go to, so the games that we see on KO now or Foxtel would go to Stan Sport
Yep.
as part of their bid.
Their affiliation.
As part of
Yep.
their bid, right? Fox League have gone, well, what's the name? Yeah, we're gonna go up against you here. They want everything as well, but problem is they're a pay or a subscription service, so they
Mm-hmm.
need Channel 7 and or Channel 10 as a partner because they need one of those networks to show it on their platform. So they've
Yes.
put a bid in. You also have bids from Amazon. Channel 7 wants State of Origin and a Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Paramount hasn't come to the party yet. And there's another network, and I can't think of the other one at the moment.
Yep.
I fear for the viewer here in this, in the PVL tirade of
Oh yeah.
making as much money as possible,
Absolutely.
to which he should, but he can't risk the viewer in this.
Yeah.
And the
That
viewer
100%. Yeah.
and the viewer that can't afford pay TV.
Yep.
I listened to the radio today, and they were talking about ticket prices as well. I know this is not viewer, but it's in the same vein about cost.
Yes.
17,000 people were at that Panthers Warriors game. And what does CommBank hold? What is it, 35, 40,000 or something like that?
Yeah. 40-ish.
Yep.
Yep.
Tickets in the corner on the dead ball line. I think Bossy on radio this morning said they were $105 for a child between 2 and 12 or something, or a 5-year-old or something. $105 a ticket. Again, we can't lose sight of the viewer here because the viewers are the
Well,
ones
that's
that
just not their game. That's just not that
No, I'm talking about across the
stadium
board.
either.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
across the board. Mate, I went to the Broncos game. I sat in literally the back row at Suncorp, and it was
Yep.
$200 for a family of 4.
Well, I sat in the back row for Penrith Broncos round one with my mum,
Yeah,
and it cost us 105 each.
yeah, that's right. I'm sitting on
Literally
basically,
nosebleeds.
yeah, I'm sitting on the roof, and
I
you
was
know what I mean.
closer to the moon.
So we just can't lose. I just don't want them to lose sight of the fact that the viewer is the one who drives the revenue by eyeballs, by tickets, buying tickets
Yep.
to games. Last thing we want to see is empty stadiums. We cannot see empty stadiums.
And what tends to happen is it goes, well, why should I get a subscription when I can go to the game? But then if the game prices go up,
What's the point of watching it?
yeah, and then it becomes, well, look, I'd love to, but I can't afford it.
Mm. Now, the other one, and it's a point that we sort of haven't, we've sort of touched on, but I really feel like now it needs more sort of traction. My question to you is, has the NRL failed the Perth Bears?
Oh,
So today, PNG signed Connor Watson and a international from England, I think, Matt Lees.
okay.
Who have the Perth Bears signed?
Look, I see it from both sides. Do I think they've that has the NRL failed the Perth Bears? Uh, in a nutshell, no. However, given the other expansion team coming in and having a more attractive, and let's face it, it's becoming a business now. It is, whether people like it or not. Not just for PVL, but for players.
Mm.
Loyalty's out the window. It's about let's earn as much money as we possibly can. There's very rarely one club players, so on and so forth. The Perth Bears are not really an attractive option from a financial perspective and also a logistical perspective.
Yep.
Who wants to up and relocate their entire family or themselves if they don't have to relocate family to a trip that ultimately, given the bulk of the teams are across Queensland and New South Wales, a 4 to 5 hour plane ride every second week each way,
Mm.
when already schedules are tight and recovery is hard.
So are you saying that the Perth Bears could do more, or are you saying the NRL needs to do more to help?
Well, I think the Perth Bears should have done more in the beginning, and as a result of PNG now being able to flex their arms, they've obviously been far more proactive and planned this in the background. Would I have given the gig to Mal Meninga? No. I think that's one of the major issues in all of it. And that's just being brutally honest. I would not have given the role to Mal Meninga. I would have given it to a current NRL coach who can attract players
Okay,
or
so
a high quality coach, not someone who's been spoon fed a Queensland Maroons team who won 8 in a row
mm,
and the Australian side,
mm,
who arguably very rarely gets
yeah,
beaten, right?
yeah.
Like, what has Mal Meninga as a coach proven to anybody? And why would people want to play for him?
I mean, all valid points, all absolute valid points. I actually heard that Mal wasn't even in Perth. He's working from Canberra
Well, that's the other issue.
or wherever he is, wherever
Do
he
you
is.
think they should be given more support?
Um,
Now I do, because they're struggling so bad, I fear that they're not even going to be able to field a top 30.
I feel like they should have. Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, no, I do. Especially, and I don't know whether you're aware of this, but they currently have 16,000 foundation members. It's
Heaps.
it went past its initial 10,000 member goal in 24 hours and is now eyeing 20,000. They reckon when they're ticketed members, they'll be at 30,000 members. Now, if you put that on the member table,
Hmm.
that'd be in the top eight.
Brilliant.
So, in the terms of the Perth Bears, business is going okay.
Yeah, fans' perspective and business wise, they got some awesome sponsors on board.
I think the NRL could have removed the November 1 rule for them.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
think that killed them.
Yeah, agreed.
And it didn't even have to be a year. They could have just moved it, before June 30 or whatever
Yeah.
of the give them another 6 months to talk to players. Because now,
Or lift the lid on not even November 1, just remove it completely now. That
yeah,
any player who wants to go to Perth now,
yeah,
regardless of whether they're contracted the club or not, has the opportunity to do so.
because you've given PNG tax-free money as the incentive, is what the NRL
Yeah.
have done, and the government, right?
Yeah.
But the Bears, you gave nothing to. So if you gave them the incentive of, you know what, you can go out and talk to any player you want.
Yeah. And the AFL, like, not to bring up the AFL, but they've given incentives to the expansion clubs.
Yeah. So, you can talk to Pat Carrigan, who's under contract until the end of 2028. You can talk to him now, no problems at all.
Yeah.
I think that maybe.
But then it's like, okay, the Dolphins never got any compensation.
Yeah, but the Dolphins weren't competing against another franchise,
That's true as well.
another new franchise that had tax-free money.
Yep.
All right. Now, what you're seeing now is all credit to Jerome Luai, all credit to him, massive move. But what other players are seeing now is, oh, okay, if Jerome can do it, why can't we?
Yeah.
We were a little bit skeptical before about going, well, he's got a young family and he's going over there. Why can't we do it?
Mm.
You know, I just think it's all well and good, and this is where it comes back to. They're just so focused the NRL on the business aspect, and I think they're just losing the product just a little bit. It's
Mm.
all well and good putting on another game and bringing in another team so you can get another game, but if that game is garbage because that team is playing in it, you're not going
Yeah.
to get anyone watching it. Can you imagine if we go to Monday night footy and the Perth Bears are playing the Panthers this year, and the
And it's
Bears
70-0.
and it's 70-0? Who's watching Monday night footy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that Perth have been let down slightly. I think they could have done more, but I do think they've been let down by the NRL. I think the NRL was so focused on the PNG bid that they kind of forgot about Perth.
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts, and because I just don't want to see them come in and then either get chucked out of the comp in 5 years because they're not sustainable, or they come in and they get beaten 50-0 every week. I mean, seriously.
Well, let's be honest. If you go through the signings they've made, who in there, forget about marquee, who in there is I'm not even going to forget about top tier player. Who is a regular starting player that they've signed?
No one. Haven't signed anyone. Nick Meaney.
Yeah.
Nick
That's
Meaney.
their so
That's
that's
it.
their marquee right now.
That's it. He's a regular starting player. Toby Sexton, maybe.
Yeah.
Tyron Wishart's a bench player. Scotty Sorensen, a bench player. Liam Henry,
Josh
a bench
Curran,
player. Josh Curran, bench player. You're right.
Talakai, bench player.
You're right. 100%.
Did you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they've literally put together by New South Wales Cup / interchange players.
Yeah, correct.
Their whole team.
Yeah. And then you look at conversely the PNG, Jerome Luai,
Connor
captain,
Watson
international. Connor Watson, state of origin player.
already.
You're potentially looking at Brian Toto.
That's the first two signings. Spencer Leniu. They'll all go there. I'm telling you. They're going. Alex Johnson, best try scorer in the world
That's
ever.
right. They're all genuine first graders.
Yep.
With 150 plus games.
And then once you see the likes of Cooper Bye and Xavier Coates, and forget about it. Give PNG the premiership.
Mate, I'm telling you right now, if the PNG keep going, I posed the question today on NRL Nostradamus socials. Can
Yep.
PNG make the 8?
Make the 8. They could win the comp. Seriously, they could.
So,
They honestly could.
My point is, I just feel like the NRL have kind of just missed a trick with the Bears.
Yeah. They need help right now and ASAP.
Yeah.
Because all the clubs, I think the only way is by saying, hey, we're going to give free rein to any player to sign for Perth for next season, regardless of whether they're contracted or not.
Yep.
They've got permission to break their current deal. Otherwise,
Ooh.
that's what I think. Any player whose contract doesn't matter. There's no
Jeez,
limitations
that'd
there.
what's the name, wouldn't it?
That'd be brilliant. How good would that be?
Wouldn't that put a cat amongst the pigeons? Nathan Cleary would be 7 hours closer to his missus.
They need to do it. They should do it. Why not? Let's see who's loyal. Let's see who wants to go to Perth. Let's see who wants the coin.
They've missed a trick by not. And this is, and as you said about Mal, this is his ethos. He doesn't want people there that chase money.
So what I'm interested in,
but you need a big dog.
Well, it hasn't been disclosed yet, really, either, is a lot of the salaries that the Perth Bears players have signed for. I wonder if they're paying overs for all these players as well, as it is.
Surely not.
I wouldn't be surprised if they are. If they've only signed 20 players, is it 20? Is it even at 20 yet? I think it's about 20.
I don't know whether they can field a team.
I have a feeling that they've paid overs for nearly every player.
Mate, they start preseason in 4 months.
There's a few players in that roster that I've spoken to directly. I'm not going to name any names. They've gone there for money. I'm telling you right now. I've heard it firsthand. So there you go.
Oh, dear.
Cop that.
So they're under salary cap pressure already with 20 players.
20 interchange players. It's not good. It's no, it's very, it's really not good.
Uh,
And on that note, shall we get
Brilliant.
into the predictions?
Yeah, let's get into some fun stuff. That was sort of administrative stuff. Let's get into some fun stuff now.
Yeah, look, we were on a roll. Well, I was on a roll. Anyways,
I tipped
um,
beautifully on the weekend. I was happy with mine.
yeah, you were chomping at the bit. I'd sort of gone 7 from 8 the week before after losing the first game to a perfect short round to tipping against Queensland. I think I was up to about 20 in a row. And then I thought I'd go the Dogs and then obviously the Roosters and then look, we finished okay, but we've slipped down the ranks a little bit. But we're floating up the top, mate. We're floating up the top.
Mm.
That's the most important thing. But this week's predictions,
Yep.
I think, are the hardest of the season to date.
Tips you're
Yeah,
talking about. Yep.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
to date.
Yep.
So let's go through them. We've got Manly against the Rabbitohs. Latrell's been ruled out till
Round
at
17 or 18, I'm pretty
least,
sure.
yeah, he's going to miss
Yeah.
at least Origin 2. So, uh, Fosball coming off a loss. That was a weird game. That was a very weird game. I don't know if Cronulla took their foot off the gas there. Hard to get a read on that. And the Rabbitohs, well, they had a bye, so they've sort of freshened themselves up. But the week before that, they were quite poor against the Cowboys. So, they're sort of dragging their feet a little bit. They're just hanging on for dear life in the eight,
Yep.
as it stands. What are you thinking here with Foz coming off a fresh contract, Tolu Kola and Olakawadu coming back into fray? It would be a shock to see Rabbitohs get up here, but stranger
Well,
things have happened.
no, I'm pretty confident the Seagulls will get this done at home Thursday night. As you mentioned, players coming off a rest.
Mm.
Um, and after the news of Foz, I think they'll be up and about. The Rabbits, I haven't been impressed with the last couple of weeks, coinciding with Latrell
Nah,
out.
I'm really interested to
Um,
see what they're going to do with their halves, Dicko. No one's really
yeah,
spoken about their half situation.
well,
Humphreys is going to the Bears. Cody
and-
Walker's about to retire.
yep,
Who have they got?
Ashton Ward.
Oh, please.
Oh,
If
that's
they're relying on Ashton Ward to hold up the fort at the Rabbits, they're in big trouble.
mate. We said this when they signed Payne Haas, didn't we?
We
We
did.
said they don't have a half.
Now, sadly, obviously, they're going to get that Jai Arrow compensation as well. So they will have a little bit of wiggle room there
Yep,
to make a signing. But that signing needs to be a half. Otherwise, they're cactus.
they're gone.
Yeah.
But no, I'm tipping Manly. I'm
Manly.
pretty
Lock them
pretty
in.
confident about Manly this week. Yeah.
Lock Manly in. Likewise. We'll double dip on that one. Now, Storm versus the Knights
Mm.
in Melbourne, Friday night. This will be a cracker. I reckon this will be an absolute cracking game.
Yeah, haven't been impressed with Melbourne. I must admit, I don't
What'd you,
still.
what'd you think of them against the Roosters?
I thought it was a rubbish game personally.
Roosters were
I
horrible.
thought, yeah, I didn't think the Storm threw much at them. I didn't think the Roosters showed anything.
Couple of length of the field, one intercept.
Couple of luckies,
What
yeah,
I found funny was I think the Storm completed at like 94% and the Roosters at 60 and they only won by 12 or whatever it was.
yeah. And they only just won because
Uh,
we felt it was closer. It was.
yeah,
I think,
14. There you
and I
go.
think Tedesco had about 7 runs for the whole game. You know.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to tip the Knights in this.
I think I'm going to go the same way.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to lock them in the Knights, just the head to head.
Yeah,
Of
as a
the
special.
yeah of the special.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of agree with you. When I was on that little bit of a hot streak, I sort of just stuck to the best attacking teams, and I'm going to go back to that.
Yep.
And the Knights are a way better attacking team than the Storm. And I think Munster and Grant will have one eye on Origin in this
Mm,
game.
mm.
So give me the Knights. This would be a good test for the Knights. Like if the Knights put the Storm away, they're a genuine sniff, not just
They are a top 4 team.
yeah, yeah they are.
Genuinely, yep.
Yep, yep. And here's me tipping them to potentially get the spoon, potentially. Uh anyway, we won't go there. Raiders and the Roosters, another absolute cracker.
I cannot tip the Raiders with any confidence at all this year, eh?
Last week I did go them with confidence and got that one.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it made up for a bit of lost ground.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. So who's out? They lost Sebastian Chris to concussion.
Yeah, so Timoko and Dane Laurie are the centers. Ethan Strange, they'll get back.
Wasn't Dane Laurie good at lock? For
Is he
someone
the
who's never played lock, who's
is he
smaller than me,
is he the
jeez.
smallest lock in the NRL
Oh,
in the
he
history of
was
the
he put
NRL?
on a couple of big hits and
Yeah.
everything. Never seen him tackle before that game. But did well, admirably. The Chooks that they got to bounce back. They can't play any worse, can they?
Yeah, no, I'm going to go the Chooks here. You're right. Purely on the bounce back factor.
I am still torn. Do you know what? I'm gonna put this down to the Roosters having 6 players in Origin, having one eye on it, and then having to travel to Canberra Friday night, freezing their tits off. For anyone who's living in Sydney and Canberra right now, it was bloody cold today, and it's gonna get even colder come Friday. So lock me in with the Raiders purely on that factor.
Yep.
Uh, Cowboys, Dolphins.
This will be a cracker, this game. I reckon there's plenty of points in this.
Yep. Don't know about cracker, but yeah, plenty of points. Yep.
No, I reckon it'll be a good game.
You reckon?
Plenty of points. Yep. That's what the fans want, mate. Plenty of points.
Oh yeah. As in like plenty of points in the sense that it'll be close, or plenty of points it'll be like 50 to 12 to the Dolphins, because
You
that's
reckon
what I
50 to
think.
12, do you?
I think the Dolphins can put 50 easily on the Cowboys this
All
week.
right. Well, then why don't you put it in your.
I'm going to lock in Dolphins 13 plus as the special.
you're, you're kidding.
Nah,
You are kidding.
give me the Dolphins 13 plus as a special. They're basically at full strength. The Cowboys, albeit they've had some impressive results, the teams they've beaten at the times, aside from the Roosters at Magic Round, have been pretty average, and Dolphins are the real deal. They are
I'm
the
going.
real deal.
I'm going the Dolphins to win, but I'm going it'll be 36-24 type sort of situation.
Ooh, geez, the overs look juicy in there. We'll keep that one for the Telegram.
Yep.
Um, I'll tell you what, just from those two picks alone, we're getting nearly $7 for that before Dale even chimes in with his. So we're looking at double figures easy this week.
Get on them. Get on
Get
them.
on it. Uh, all right. Now, Broncos, Titans, Dicko.
Hmm.
I'm actually torn on this a little bit. I see they've dropped Mam to the bench.
Well, they've dropped
Rightly
Mam.
so.
They've dropped. Oh, you know what?
Carrigan's out. Shibasaki's out.
I actually think Ezra Mam's the scapegoat in this whole situation.
Yeah. He's
I
probably better off the bench, to be honest.
Well, it's funny because when they were talking about what they can do, I was thinking about it today, and I was like, well, they won a premiership last year by 100-6 and Mam on the bench.
Yeah.
So, but he's been dropped out of the 18, out of the 17 completely, and I think there's much
Who,
bigger
Mam
issues.
has?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
18th man.
really? Oh, no. They got the bench of 19 these days, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
But,
But
oh,
yeah,
no, no, he has been.
yeah, he's not going to get on the field, mate. They've got
Oh, no,
Darby.
sorry. Yes, he's on the bench. He's on the bench.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on the bench, but he won't get on the field
Mm,
unless the half goes down. But there's much bigger issues than him.
yeah. Oh,
But
agreed.
what I will say is Grant Anderson, he goes okay at center.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to lose anything with him there from Shibasaki, to be honest, because I don't think Shiba's been going that well. I think Willison's, you know how I highly regard him as an excellent middle player, so they won't lose anything from him. The problem is they've got 4 front rowers that are currently injured, and they've got to
Mm.
play Preston Ricky in the front row. I mean, seriously.
Am I missing something here? Why is Tino not the captain anymore?
On the Dolphins, on the Titans, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought he was the captain.
No. Mo Fotuaika's the captain now.
He can't be the captain.
Is it I don't know, I could be wrong here, but
He's
is
not
he
the
about
captain.
to break No, he is. Well, according to the NRL app, he's the captain. I don't know whether this has already
Are you
passed or
kidding?
gone, but I believe he's about to or already broken the number of caps as a Titan.
Oh, so he's going to be the most capped Titan.
I think that might be why he's captain. I heard something there about that, but if that's a permanent change, I'm I'll shave my eyebrows off. I don't. That's what it says. That's what it says. So that's all I can think of.
So I'm just looking at. Sorry, I just got sidetracked. And we're looking at team lists as we sort of give our tips, and I've just stumbled across the NRL's Facebook page. Season 2026 breaks more ratings records. Number one most watched round 13 of all time. Okay.
Wow.
Number one most watched Sunday 2 p.m. and Sunday 6:15 p.m. fixture of the season.
Yep.
Number two most
Understandable.
watched Saturday 5:30 and Sunday 4 p.m.
I think they're clutching at straws there to boost the ratings
Seriously.
up.
Seriously.
As if first versus second's not going to get the best ratings. If it's
So
not, there's a problem.
so he's the co-captain with Tino.
Okay. They must only be able to have one spot for a captain on the NRL app these days.
But if you want my tip, I'm going to tip Brisbane, and I'm going to tell you they're in their black jersey, their mental health jersey this
Oh,
week.
is it this weekend?
It's this weekend. This is where they started their run last year. I'm going to back them again,
Yep.
and I just love it. I've copped a battering from you. I've copped a battering from everyone. Rightly so. They were garbage, and I support them. But boys, come on. Especially the NRL Nostradamus chat. We are at round 13. Relax.
Look, what I will do is I will give a little shout out here to the Corner Post. So one of our major partners this year, the guys at Westfield Liverpool there, Ben and the team, Ben Julie and the team. Uh, if you haven't been in there, genuinely get yourself in there. I have not seen, and I'm not just saying this because we work collaboratively together. They genuinely have the best merch store I've ever seen. And you cannot even buy half the things online that they've got in the store.
Yeah.
And it's all in one place. I'm actually we've organised to get you a the blackout jersey for this weekend, Dicko. So that will arrive to you by Friday,
Thank you,
ready
Dizz.
for the weekend.
And the corner post and the boys there. I did hear that, so thank you very much.
No problem at all. I got myself the 1967 retro jumper for the Panthers.
The 1967.
Yeah, the brown soldiers, the chocolate soldiers. We're ready to rock and roll, boys. I wore it on Sunday for the top of the table clash, and it brought me some luck. So if anyone's team's struggling, just get in there anyway, because you'll probably get a victory if you buy a jersey. That's what it felt like for me anyway. So shout out to the guys at the Corner Post. Dicko,
Bronx here, mate.
I had selected the Titans until you reminded me of the black jersey, and I can't tip against them when they're wearing that.
Yeah.
Like it's that sexy, regardless of the concept
It's
behind
the
it.
best. It's the best jersey in the comp.
Yeah, and it's even better this year. It's got the silver on it now,
Yeah. How good is it?
like instead of pure black.
How good is it?
You almost need sunglasses to look at it. Uh,
Under lights, they'll be
will you
excellent.
be at the game this weekend?
Look, Diz. No,
No,
I won't.
that might
Um,
be an omen that they might get up.
yeah. Yeah. The last
And
two.
how many games have you been to this year?
Well, the last two I've seen, mate. We've conceded 70 points.
Ah,
And scored about
brilliant.
12.
How good is it?
So,
How good is it? Now lock me in for the Broncos. They can't lose in that jersey. Simple. Moral. Um, West Tigers, Panthers.
you know what? I'm not going to tip an upset here. I'm going to tip the Panthers, but I do reckon this will be close.
We do struggle against the Tigers. I'm not going to lie.
And I'm looking at big game from Appy Coruscant because I reckon that 9 jersey's being dangled for New South Wales in front of him, ready to grab.
Yeah, Laurie Daly's actually openly come out and said it's out of what him,
Hey,
Connor Watson, and
Laurie Daly.
Egan.
Seriously.
He's got no idea. Sorry. Is that what we're talking about?
He's 2 from 7, mate.
He's no. He no good. Look,
Welcome, Ivan.
I am obviously extremely biased here, but
Oh my God. Finally, you admitted it.
for anyone looking for some value here, I just want to read out a couple of players who are playing for the Tigers, and you let me know if you still think Tigers are a chance. Falatino Tavana. These are in their starting lineup, by the way. Maverick Gaia is starting that second row. Fair enough, it's against his old club, but seriously. Another Perth Bears signing, actually. Can't even make the top 20 at the Tigers. Uh, and Charlie Murray starting at lock with all their injuries. Ethan Roberts on the bench.
Yeah.
If Penrith don't win this by at least 20, I'll be disappointed. Very disappointed. We'll see what happens.
I'm tipping Penrith, but I do
Yeah.
think it'll be. Yeah, I do think it'll be close.
Now, unfortunately, Big Dale can't attend the podcast for this one, and it's a pick the margin as well
Yeah,
for
I got
this
the
game.
Sharks. Sharks by 12.
Oh, really? Just straight out.
Just
The
straight up Sharks
Dragons,
by
no
12.
chance at all.
No, I'm not saying they're no chance. I'm giving them a chance. It's only 12 points. Sunday Arvo too, isn't it? The 4 o'clock game.
Now, for the viewers out here, punters, non-punters, whatever, the Sharks are $1.28
Mm.
against the Dragons. That is way too short. Way too short.
You're giving the Dragons a sniffy.
I'm giving them more than a sniff.
You're going to tip them.
I'm going to tip them.
You can't tip them.
I'm going to tip the
You can't tip 'em.
Dragons.
You got rocks in your head.
I am going to tip the Dragons purely on the basis that they're so up and down, the Sharks. They're so up and down. And I know what it feels like to be part of a team who's going like an absolute bunch of bastards who then get a win on the board. They will feel 10 foot tall as a result of that. The NRL community will be behind them.
Yep.
It's a local derby. And I wouldn't be surprised if half of the Cronulla Sharks Stadium are Dragons supporters
Oh,
in their own backyard.
God,
Oh, I am going to lock in the Dragons by 8. Is
By
my
8?
margin. By 8. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 30-22 to be exact. Uh
22.
no, I really like the Dragons here.
Okay.
Really like the Dragons here. Dogs versus Eels.
Monday Arvo game.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Queenslanders, New South Wales has a public holiday this weekend for the King's birthday. He has a few of those each year.
Yeah,
He
no,
must
we'll
be
be at
getting
work, mate.
old.
We'll be at work.
This is a traditional clash. Mate, this could go either way as well.
I'm going to tip Para here. Mitch Moses is back.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I,
I don't mind it at all.
although is he? He's not. He's named on the bench, is he? No, he's not named in this team list I'm looking at.
No, he's not even in the squad. Ooh, that changes things.
They said on the radio today he was going to play. Surely,
So,
surely,
so are we saying Laurie Daly's full of shit again?
Surely you can't pick him for New South Wales off no game. You
It's
watch, they will, eh?
baffling to me. Oh, mate, I hope they pick him.
Well, I'm going to tip the Bulldogs now that Moses isn't playing.
Ah, do you know what? When you actually tip the Bulldogs, it's very, very hard to watch. And I felt that myself personally on the weekend, just gone. Their attack is so bad. So, 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 so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, However, this week they're playing against a team who is massively busted. And if they can't get past Parramatta with no Moses,
I can't believe he's not picked.
I would. I actually think that Serraldo should be on the chopping block almost.
Well, what's worrying is he keeps blaming officials.
Mm.
He seems like he's got no idea what's going on.
Well, last week was a fair,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
with the squad that they've got and how they've been building, officials shouldn't even come into play.
That's right. Exactly.
Like there's calls that go wrong for either team, but you didn't see Andrew Webster come out and have a sook about it, did you?
No, no, exactly, mate.
There's a reason why they're coming second.
Yeah,
Um, the Bulldogs have won 4 games. Once against Penrith, once against an under 12s Melbourne team,
mm.
and the other 2 games I can't remember. But if they can't beat the Eels, Mitch Mosesless, they're in all sorts. And I believe that we should be talking about Seraldo being under massive pressure.
Yep.
So there you have it. There you have it. Dicko, we're going for
Another episode down. Another
yeah,
dud.
another episode down. Next week, Origin 2, bring it on.
Yeah, good.